Look, boxing heals, and it's good to start the week off knowing that you have to use boxing to get your mind idle and not allow your brain to start going into that total atmosphere or that orbit where you start to just go left, right, side, back, reverse. What you want to do when you start your morning off is to let boxing take you to that place that you actually need to be to operate in your highest power, right? So Monday, we use it as Monday mindset because if you start doing little things that help you think about, how you're going to actually show up, right? You don't let all of those scrolling, interference bugs take over. So how do I approach that? One of the things that I do is I keep it simple. I have a couple of drills that I do that warm my body up, and it keeps my mind on that task that I'm focusing on, not letting other thoughts interfere. So when you use your boxing triggers the sympathetic nervous system, but it also puts you in a state of neuroplasticity, which helps you think about what's now, that next thing. So if you want to ever not be stressed out first thing in the morning, I don't want to feel that anxiety. What I want to do is I want to box, and boxing does do that. Now, I use this drill called the box step. So whenever my mind starts to go very, very fast paced, because remember, the mind has 60,000 thoughts a day, and it doesn't come in any order. So, therefore, you're going to be subjected to be attacked by all of those different ideas that come in front of you. Your brain is 2 million years old, and the brain has to identify any threat. Therefore, you don't have a lot of trust and steel because the brain is here to protect you at all times. Like I said, it's a victim of its own patterns. And I said the brain is 2 million years old. So, how can you teach your old dog new tricks? Well, you have to trick it. And you trick your brain with boxing. So, what I do is the box step, something that does not trigger the sympathetic nervous system, but something that helps align it using neuroplasticity, which is what your brain can grab on to. Like when someone says, "What's one plus one?" You say two. That's an easy thing. That's an easy equation. But if I would say, "What's 37 times 122?" then that's going to put you in what? The state of neuroplasticity, but in a negative way. So, how do you get your brain really aligned where you start doing your drill? Something that you can actually execute, and then you do it in a manner that you start to exude confidence because you know exactly how to go about doing it. So when you go about doing it, the box step, it's really so simple. A lot of people think this is just about skill, but this is about your brain being in a position where you can control your thoughts when they start going crazy on Monday morning. And if you do have those kind of issues, then what you want to find yourself doing is finding little temporary wins with you that when that starts to come into play. So the wins will help you get to a place where you're comfortable and you actually have what we call a counter to that stuff. So if you're feeling like Monday morning, you're very indecisive, you don't know what you're going to physically do when you go to the boxing gym. If you're a boxing trainer and you feel all over the place, or let's just say, for instance, if you run a boxing gym, I'm gonna use this as an example, and let me know what you think down in the chat. Holler at me, chat. Let me know where you're watching from. Check in. Now, if you are working inside of a gym, which some of you are, and some of you just go to a gym, here's a couple of wins that you can offer people because let me tell you, energy is going to be low on Monday. So you could have had competitions you're tired from, or you could have just literally not had a good outcome at one of your competitions. So morale is low. Sunday breeds a negative kind of vibration going into Monday. So here's what you do if you are training in the world of boxing. The first thing you do on Sunday is make sure on Sunday evening that you've had a couple of different awards set up to give to people who come to your gym. And instead of them not being motivated to come, they're more incentivized. So you let them know what they've already accomplished. So you do a Scantron sheet, type some things up that they've accomplished. Have they been there consecutive times? Did they not miss? Did they make a particular weight? Did they achieve a accomplished goal? Did they eventually throw 10,000 punches in class? So you give them that on that Sunday evening and let them know that we have some awards that I want to give you, and we also have some different, what we're going to do is label them. We're going to give you some titles, so we'd like for you to be there on time, ready to go. And then you anoint them with titles, and they got their wins. They're excited to talk about it. And then look at it like, how did they actually accomplish it? Well, you accomplished it because you developed more discipline. We kept things simple. And when you can do it that way, what you're going to find is that more people are going to be more motivated to come because they know you're tracking all of their wins. And now they get to be appointed as general of the class, captain. Like, these little things matter to people where they know where they fit. And even class champion, maybe they are just someone who supports everybody. So everybody who comes to the class, they get their anointing. And when you can do that on Monday, you can really drive more morale and people look forward to it. And then you set the challenge up for the week. Let's see if we can top those numbers. And not only do you have buy-in, but people are excited. And that's what boxing can do for you. When you got boxing to keep your mind on track and keep you on task and keep you dead on, then that's what's going to happen. You're going to always inspire people to do better. They're going to always be motivated to just show up. And that's what you want. So that's the pearl that I'm going to get to you. Monday mindset is a real thing. You got to have your brains aligned in the right place when you start this week. You don't want people to have low energy, and you don't want people to not want to show up if they do come. You want people to be excited. And however you set the tone for the week, that's the kind of week you will have. So that was my nugget for Monday mindset. Hopefully each and every one of you can use it. And there will be a training video that goes up this morning at, I think it's at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's about really working on your aggression in your boxing training. So if you want to take a couple of tips from that, it's super cool, and it shows you just how we making adjustments to the peekaboo style of boxing so that it's much more comprehensive and it's easier to do. So we got different footwork, and we have different hand gestures and defensive postures for that. And it's really compiled in a really good video. So I hope you take time and listen to it, watch it, read what's in the description, and like I said, use boxing to blow up your game. And if you don't know how to do that, then make sure you go into the description and learn more about how to use boxing reels to build and attract new members to your gym. And no matter what you do, keep boxing number one when it comes down to your physical training, because boxing helps you in the mind, and it helps you in the body, and it helps your nervous system. That is all I got. Use boxing. Be blessed at Godspeed, Coach Bradley, and I'm signing out. Hopefully, if you're not a subscriber, that you subscribe to continue to follow for more. Peace out, guys. This is Monday Mindset in the School of Boxing.